Hello everybody, hope you're doing okay. Welcome to a rather hilly part of Guildford. I'm pretty much at the top of it. I think Ben Notley lives around here. I might encounter him in one of my travels. So, the Endorphin Pro 3. I did a little initial video of them a couple of weeks ago, and tonight I've got 15 by 1 minute hard, inverted commas, and 1 minute rest. So I thought I'd take them out, see how they feel. I've just done a warm up for about 8 minutes, and they feel okay. I remember the last one had a real problem with the lockdown. You can see that I've got the tongues almost touching here, especially on the right one. So I'd say that the fit is not great for a narrow-footed runner, but if you've got a wider foot, then maybe this is the shoe for you. Anyway, it sort of feels quite nice on the foot. It sort of reminds me of a bit like running on polystyrene, which I'm not sure if it's a good thing or not, because it feels like it's sort of quite crispy, and you feel like it's something, if you sort of bend it, it's going to break in half like polystyrene does. So I hope it doesn't, obviously. I've made it with a bit more due care and attention than that. So I've always done my warm-up. I think I do a few strides, and then I think what I'll basically do here is alternate between doing hills strides up the hill for a minute and then down again. So I need to be careful because I feel quite tired. I've got 10k on Sunday, and this is like a nice little sharpener for that. So I've been doing a lot of sort of easy miles up to about an hour, doing all these streets and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm road looking quite fit, but I just got no sharpness at all. I think having had the injuries that I did in the spring with my hamstring, then I got COVID about 6 weeks ago. So yeah, all in all, I haven't really done much racing of late. I did the Claygate 5 a couple of weeks ago. I was going to do a 5k, missed that because it didn't feel good. I had a bit of a thigh strain. That seems okay now, so I need to be a bit careful on this one. But yeah, let's see how these shoes go. And I'm not going to try and do any shoe offs today. Just get these 15 1 minute reps done and give you some feedback on the way. Okay, so we just utilised Guildford High School's sort of entrance come car park to do a few strides traffic free. Yeah, I feel a bit looser now. I was feeling quite stiff earlier, so I think it's always important, especially as I get older now, to do a good warm up and not just launch into things. Back in the day, I remember I was late for an 800 once, and literally hopped out of the car one stride and did a 156. I think I did that now. I'd be lucky to do 156 for 400, let alone 2 laps. So yeah, that was about 30 years ago. So I think the first few reps are going to be all uphill, which is kind of nice in a way, because these are just sort of hard. I'm not really worried about the pace. Just want to feel a bit of speed in the legs before Saturday and give these shoes a test. They feel a bit nicer now. Still feel a bit like polystyrene, but yeah, warming up to them a bit. Much more sort of cushioning under the toes. Maybe it's just because it's the second time I've worn them, which obviously helps. But yeah, so we'll see how we go and report back after I've done a few. Okay, 4 down. As I said, a bit up and a bit down. I found a little side street to just do the first few on, which is deadly quiet, so I can just leave my GoPro in the street and hopefully know it's still there when I come back. Right, so about 11 down now. Yeah, not too bad. Feeling a bit of speed, everything holding together, touch wood, or head. Yeah, so quite like it is. I like this. There's a bit of underfoot sponge, as it were, kind of lacking in the previous Endorphin Pro. And the Endorphin Speed, I always found that they wore through the toes quite early. So yeah, enjoyed them so far. Whether this polystyrene will hold up or not is another matter. Right, I better get all these reps then. See you at the end. Okay, so 15 and done. Just walking back up this hill now towards the car for a little cool down and talk to the camera. So yeah, good session, survived. That's the main thing. These days I always feel at 55 if I get through a session. That is the first aim of it. Whereas in the past maybe I was looking at my splits, my heart rate, all sorts of stuff. These days can I just get through it in full stop. So yeah, I said in the last video, none of this double threshold nonsense. If I get 1 done, I think I'm doing well. 2 a week, maybe pushing it, but yeah, so going well with Matt. That was his session today. I was actually down to do it yesterday, but I agreed with him to do it today because I was doing the results at the Vets League. So I always feel that you have a schedule, but you need to be able to talk to your coach and move things around. Life gets in the way. Some days you don't feel good, some days you just don't have time. We're not professional athletes, are we? Well done to Jake Whiteman and Jeff Whiteman. Now I actually know Jeff because he's the guy that actually commissioned the handicap scheme on Run Britain. He used to be the chief executive of Run Britain when we first started doing Run Britain rankings in 2009. So I know him pretty well. He's no longer doing that job. Obviously you can see him now doing the stadium announcing, and Jake even worked for us for a bit as well. So yeah, nice to think we had a world champion on our payroll for a little bit, so massive well done to them. Hope that inspires a few more people to take up the track, because that was my first love. I think it's rather sort of forgotten now. People sort of dismiss it as being a bit irrelevant, a bit elitist, everyone's on drugs, etc, etc. So hopefully encourage the kids to get down the local track and try some track. I mean, there's no point, I don't think, going straight from 5k to marathon when you're about 18. I think you should explore all the distances. Exactly what Cole Gibbons and Ben Felton are doing, the two YouTubers. They're running some good times and getting on the track, doing some 8s, 15s, 3Ks, 5,000s. They may well both turn out to be half marathon racers, but if you try the shorter distances, and how do you know? And also, if you need to be any good at the marathon, you need to be running sub 5 miles, don't you, for 26 miles. So if you can't manage one very easily, then there's not much hope for you, is there really? Right, so yeah. The Endorphin Pro 3, almost forgotten what I'm testing now, so it's a bit of a random blog. So yeah, very promising. I'm still not sure that I would use them for a race, but I always feel like a race, perhaps I should try one, but I always think, well, how unimportant is a race to try a shoe that I may not like. But these feel nice and light. I certainly feel, I probably feel like these are more to my line than the Alpha Flies, just so much lighter on foot, and that sort of 1 minute pickups. We need to accelerate quickly, and it's over quite quickly. You just need something with a bit of sponge under your foot, and they sort of rolled through nicely. I feel like there's a bit of bounce back off the road there, which is nice. The Alpha Fly, I feel more like it's sort of an effort to get your knees off the ground. With this one, not feeling that so much. So yeah, that's encouraging. Right, and I've got to face that hill to get back up. Okay, so I hope you found this interesting. Like and subscribe on all that. And are you going to be getting the Endorphin Pro 3? I certainly would recommend at least watching all the videos of it and seeing what you feel, because I think it's noticeably better than the Endorphin Pro 1 and 2, which were, you know, good for 2020, but you know, looking a bit old hat really. So yeah, hope you found this interesting. Like and subscribe on that, and see you next one. Bye. Just a glimpse of railway for the railway enthusiasts.